here's why you never take pre-workout, man. Or you never should take it, rather, because I've taken it before and it was great. If you've ever taken that shit before, like, you feel like fucking Superman. You go in there and you're like, whoa, you turn on, bro, you're like, fucking dude, just getting it on. You have unlimited energy, the pump's great and shit. But what ends up happening is you kind of just you subscribe to it. And what I mean by that is you won't have a good session anymore because you're just used to the pre-workout. You're just used to how good it can actually be. And then you don't, and it takes your baseline training even further down. It makes it even worse because now you have demotivation in your brain. You're demotivated now because you're like, fuck, dude, this feels so bad right now. And once you get these thoughts in your head, oh, this feels so bad. And man, I don't have any energy. You're like, I'll go a bit shy of failure today, man. I'll just take it easy, and that's where the problems begin, and because it stacks upon each other, you have one bad session after the other, and you get used to those bad sessions, unless you take pre-workout, and now you have to spend money on it every time, and you're just forced to take it. You're forced to blast yourself with caffeine, bro. And that sometimes can be like unhealthy and shit. Like if you really overdo it, you can fucking die from it. You can die from fucking anything, really. But once you really get to that addiction level of caffeine, bro, you can't get without it. That's where the problems start happening. That's why I don't want you guys to do it. You could take like pump boosters and shit, I guess, but I wouldn't do that either. It's just the mental aspect. Pre-workout is fine, it works. But you just run into the issue of, you just get addicted to it, sort of psychologically, because you don't want to train without it anymore. You're like, fuck, dude, I didn't take my pre-workout today, man. Like, I guess this session is going to be like shit. And it ends up being like shit because you're just used to the fucking pre-workout, man. I still have pre-workout in my pocket, whenever I need it. Like when I'm like really, really down at some point, it's rarely ever the case, but sometimes you just need it to get up off your ass, bro. Like, but I usually wouldn't take it before every session, bro. Like a lot of people do that, Just straight water, man. Because a lot of people, it gets glorified online, bro. Like people fucking pre-scoop their shit, they dry scoop their pre-workout, bro. And they drink these Monster Energies and shit. Like they're fucking addicted to it. You don't want to be a slave to the fucking Monster Energy drinks, the fucking Red Bulls, the fucking I don't know what. You want to be a fucking slave to the supplements, bro. Like some supplements are good, like health supplements and shit. Like I'd advise taking vitamin D. Like if your levels are too low. Well, I wouldn't advise it. I guess speak to your doctor, but I do it, and I think it's a pretty good idea overall. But once you get into the thing of like, you have a supplement for everything. Like you take fucking pre-workout, you take intra-workout like a special supplement and shit. Like it gets to the point of diminishing return. Obviously with everything. Like there are some supplements like that you can get that make a big difference, like creatine, for example, and shit. But once you get into the nitty-gritty of it and you buy supplements for everything, at some point you're just not making a difference anymore. You're just throwing your money out the window. Rather than just focusing on what's really important. And that is to have structure and to hold yourself accountable in the gym, and with diet and with recovery. No supplement's going to beat that, right? So don't focus too much on that shit, like, even though it seems like it, because everybody wants to make money off of it, like all these influencers, your favorite influencer online, he makes money off of those fucking supplements. He's got the fucking code in the bio, I don't. That's why I'm saying this shit, if I had a fucking code, I wouldn't be making this video right now, guys, man. I would be saying, fuck, dude, you got to take every supplement there is. But I don't have the code, I don't have it. So enjoy it while it lasts, the fucking realness, because I'm telling you, man, like, you don't need a fucking supplement for anything, like for everything rather. At least I don't take it. I don't take it too seriously. I just focus on what's really important, and that's getting my training sessions in each and every day, getting my macros right each and every day, and getting my recovery correct each and every day. Because that's what fucking compounds, man. That's what's gonna fucking make the difference over time. That's where you start seeing the gains, bro. That's where you start ascending, bro. That's where you start really moving towards the right direction. If you buy a fucking $300 fucking supplement starter kit, what do you think's gonna happen, right? I mean, you're not gonna fucking magically get huge all of a sudden, you know? You're a skinny guy once, you spend $300 on a fucking supplement starter kit, and all of a sudden you're a Greek god, you know? It's just not how it works, unfortunately, because I would have done that ages ago, you know? I would have done that ages ago, bro. Like, if there was like a fast track way that isn't steroids, believe me, I would have done it already, you know? And yeah, it's like the thing. So yeah, that's why I don't take pre-workout, man. Like, yeah, there's some things you could do. Like, I have experimented with, you know, drinking juice in my training, you know, to have some glucose. And, you know, it felt good. It felt good for sure. But most of the time I just drink water intra-workout. You know, it's not optimal, but it's good. You know, it'll do. You know, just with everything, you know, just like with everything, you know, the base version of everything is good enough. You know, you just always have to ask yourself, do I really need to invest this and that into that, you know? There are some things that are worth investing in, and those are many things, and that is anything that gives you structure, anything that gives you valuable information, or that straight up helps you achieve your goal, you know, in training, when you're trying to get jacked. You know, this is not, you know, life advice or anything. That's just my experience of what helps in training. Those are like the things that work, that are worth investing in. So yeah, I'd always invest in like good food. If you invest in yourself, it's always good. You know, I always invest in good food, you know. That's what I always say, bro. Like, invest in good food, good protein sources, like, you know, eat like eggs, you know, high quality meat, lean meat, you know. It's gonna be very good. You don't need a fucking $100 per month fucking gym membership. That's also really stupid. I'm gonna make a video about that. I just gotta remember it. Dude, like, these super expensive gyms, like, I guess, dude, if you just have money just fucking laying around, I mean, okay. But I would rather train at a $20 gym per month than a fucking $100 gym. And that's for one reason, because I just don't get the same vibe. You know, when I'm in a gym, like with these people, bro, like in these $100 gyms, they don't want it, bro. Like, you know, they rarely ever want it. You know, they think just because they're buying the fucking gym membership for more money, you know, it'll make them get in better shape. When in all reality, it fucking doesn't. The only thing that's gonna get you in shape is what's in here. Your fucking mindset, you know, because only if you have the right mindset, you're gonna make progress. These people don't have the right mindset. They make a lot of money. Okay, sure. And I'm not saying this is with everybody, you know, but especially because I've been to those gyms before, and I see these people, they're out of shape. They're in like 20 easy reps on the fucking row, and they call it quits. Then they're fucking, oh my goodness. And they fucking hit the fucking included swimming pool in the fucking gym, you know, because that's really important, right? Go to the sauna. This is more like a wellness thing to these people, and I don't want to train at a wellness club, you know. You know, the gym I train at, man, it could be better too, you know. This shit has a fucking solarium, you know. This shit has a fucking, I don't know. You know, it's they have some good aspects to it. It's not bad at all, but I'd really like to train at a gym where, you know, fuck, dude, there's no music playing and shit, you know. There's just, you know, just iron fucking machines, rusty dumbbells and shit. Like, I'd like to train at Metroflex. I mean, they play music there. That's not the biggest part, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to train at a hardcore gym, but you know, where I live, there's not a lot of those out there. There's none, actually. You have to fucking drive a bit, and, you know, it's just not worth the time investment, because, you know, time is really important. But yeah, man, I'm going to make a separate video about this. Baseline from this video, I wouldn't advise you to take supplements. I wouldn't advise you to take fucking pre-workout, especially because you get used to it and you get addicted to it, sort of, you know? So, you know, think about it, try it out if you want. But yeah, man, I'm in the fucking smart car, and we're going to see each other another time. Goodbye.